we are exposing a collection of widgets to this particular endpoint, right? If you notice, there are other things that we're hosting in this server, right? We have an index page, right? Remember that, right? And I think we also had like maybe like a login template in there, maybe not. I don't know. I forget where I put it. So this Java server is making available static content represented with HTML and JavaScript and whatnot, but it's also making available data, right, through these endpoints we just created. So we have to make sure that the server understands that sometimes we're providing data and sometimes we're providing static data, right, and static content, ASCII for human consumption. We want to make a distinction of what is meant for human consumption and what is meant for algorithmic consumption. This data is not meant for human consumption, right? You're not meant to type this URL at a browser, right? Whereas this here index, you are meant to consume this data. Make sense? So there's a convention that URLs that are meant for human consumptions, right, are left alone. Right? We don't do anything special. But the URLs that are meant to be consumed not by humans but by some algorithmic process, right, that we prepended. So this widgets here, because this is meant to be consumed by an algorithm, that we prepended with something that we can all agree, by convention. Right? API is a very common convention to prepend all the URLs that are meant for data access. Right? So let's do that. Let's go back to our controller, right? And so these are providing all data. Let's put API in front of this, API and API. There are other conventions you might use. Instead of API, you could use maybe REST or data, right? But something that this is not meant for you consuming as a human. Make sense? This is only meant for programmatic consumption. So if we restart and go back, if we go back and refresh, notice that this endpoint doesn't exist anymore, right? We need to prepend it with API. And now we have the data. Make sense? Very good.